Hey everybody, I am back with a new Diecast review, and I haven't done one of these in a long time. It's been a couple months, maybe about a year since I last done my last Diecast review. Now this one, it's going to be a little different than my other ones because it's actually not a NASCAR diecast or an ARCA diecast or an IndyCar diecast. It's from the movie Cars 3, a wrecked version replica of when Lightning McQueen had his crash in Cars 3. Now, this one I've wanted to make since I've seen the movie when it came out in 2017. And I gotta say, probably one of my best ones I've ever made. As you can see, it's just a standard Lightning McQueen. But when I made this, I actually had to redo the decals because I actually stripped the paint off the original car, repainted it, and put new decals on it. Literally everything I recreated myself. And honestly, I don't think I did too bad recreating the decals, especially with the lightning bolt and the 95 on the door. I tried making this as 100% as it was to the movie, and I don't think it's way too far off from what it looked like. I actually rewatched this scene several times and paused almost every single frame of it to make sure I got every single detail as closely correct as possible. So before we get into the details of the crash, let's look into his features. McQueen, Lightning McQueen, you can see his name right there on the name rail with the 95 on the roof. His iconic number 95 with the lightning bolt across the side with his memorable sponsor, his most notable sponsor, Rusty's. His contingency sponsors, the Piston Cup logo, Octane Gain, Revolting Batteries, and Clutch Aid. On the hood is the standard Rusty's logo with the lightning bolt. His headlights, well, not really his headlights, because as he said himself, race cars don't need headlights because the track is always lit. His iconic lightning bolt right on his fender, on his back bumper, his fake taillights, and the Rusty's logo. Same goes to the right side as it is on the driver's side. And light year on the tires. So now, when I made this thing, I knew it was going to be difficult because in the past I had tried making wrecked Disney cars diecast before, and because the bodies are so fragile, they break apart. As you can see right here on the hood, or should I say his mouth, broke off. So I had to literally put like car bondo on it to hold it into place so it wouldn't break off. I took a sledgehammer and I put this car on an anvil, believe it or not, and I beat it to make sure I got it as bent as possible. You can see that his fender is bent right here. You can see that from this angle, he's bent downward on the right side. You can even tell right here too, especially when I hold it up like this. His hood is actually bent downward to make it look like he had a series of barrel rolls, which he did in the movie, as well as his roof is completely bent down with the spoiler pulled backwards like it was in the movie. So if you've seen the movie, which I'm sure many of you have, McQueen, who is nearing the end of his racing days as newcomers and next-gen racers are coming onto the scene, struggles to keep pace with his newest rival, Jackson Storm, and pushes himself to the limit by blowing his right rear tire. As you can see right here, I actually cut away the black part of the tire on the plastic wheel to make it look like there was just a rim. He blew his right rear tire. He lost control, overcorrected, slammed the outside wall. In doing so, he got airborne, blew over, and started barrel rolling down the front stretch of the Los Angeles Motor Speedway, or Los Angeles International Speedway, excuse me. And it was a devastating crash because if you've seen the movie, the crash reminded him of Doc Hudson's crash. So this was pretty much McQueen's version of that crash. To make it look like he was in, extreme pain, which he obviously was in the movie. I took regular red paint, colored his eyes, and took a black Sharpie and outlined his eye line to make it look like his eyes are shut. I painted over his mouth and tried, putting like modeling clay over the mouth to hide the smile, but I mean, you can probably still see the smile right there. And I put a frown or like a grin on his mouth to make it look like his teeth are showing to indicate that he is in severe pain. His front tires are completely bent to make it look like his suspension is broken. The undercarriage I actually bent as well so it could line up with the body itself, and I had to repaint that because when I was bending it, it was completely scraped up, and I wanted to make it look like as clean as possible. The spoiler, as I pointed out, was bent backwards in the crash, so I had to get that. And well, that's pretty much it, I guess, with this. And like I said, I'm pretty surprised at how closely accurate this is to the actual crash from the movie. One of my favorites that I made, probably my favorite I've ever made in my collection. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have any suggestions of any other, race version stuff from the Cars movies that I should make. Leave a comment below. I've already made Doc Hudson, which I plan on doing a review on in the future. But yeah, if you have any suggestions for, reviews on wrecked versions or customs at all, leave a comment below. Like, comment, subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you all later. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.